How's it going? I've struggled trying to find a video that shows how to reassemble a valve plate on a 2-cylinder reed valve style air compressor. So I've figured out a way to do it, I think. So I'm going to make a little video and we'll see how it goes. So that's my valve part, the top part of the valve plate. Just pre-assembled, sitting on the all cleaned up cylinder head. So I've put the studs back in place, dropping the plate, first part of the plate back on there. I've got some premium grade gasket sealant, and I just wanted to put just enough to hold the aluminium shim gasket in place. So I'm just going to pop that shim on there now, and I'm going to do the same. It's going to put a very, very thin smear around the outside edge, just literally to hold the two parts together. That should do it. And then the top part, this is the issue, is that once you've assembled the top part, or in this case it's actually the bottom part, the reed valves drop out. So I've just got a builder's pencil and two little cable ties threaded through just to hold them in place. They're not overly tight. And now I'm going to sit that part onto there, seating down, and then I've got 6 nuts here, and I'm just gonna thread a nut onto each of those studs. I'm gonna tighten them down, not overly tight. I'm just gonna nip them up with a spanner, and I'm just gonna leave them overnight. Enough time for that sealant to go off. So I want to squish all the sealant out so that they're as close as they can be, the two parts. Squish the sealant out. Hopefully overnight it'll dry, and then I'll be able to pop these bolts out, and that center plate, the two plates sandwiched together, hopefully will stay in place. And then I can go and take the part back up to the mezzanine and attach it back onto the compressor. So as you can see, I've got the nuts all tightened up. Pretty straightforward, just bolts it all together as a complete assembly, just to let the gasket sealant, which is in between the two parts of the plate, set overnight. But what it means is that I can just snip these. Out come those, and the valves have just popped back into place, ready to go. So yeah, fingers crossed. Alright, so it's been sitting overnight. It's pretty tacky. I wouldn't say it's totally set yet, but I think there'll be enough adhesion there to hold everything together. So we'll whip those nuts off and have a look. And that seems to be pretty successful. So the valve plate's now essentially stuck together. You can hear all the little valves, got a little bit of free play in there, so you can kind of hear them rattling. So I'm going to assemble this now with a gasket. I'll put both gaskets on there, and I'll just put a couple of nuts on there just to hold everything together, and then I'll take it to the compressor. Alright, it's all assembled, a little bit of grease on all the gasket surfaces, and I'll just put the nuts loosely on there, just so that I can carry the thing up there in one piece. And here's the offending compressor, as you might have seen, right up in the roof space. Hence why getting all the Stuff pre-assembled is a must. So give that gasket a quick clean and it should be ready to go on. Alright, so we've cleaned up the gasket surface and got the cylinder head ready to whip those nuts off, and then I'm going to place it down onto there. No guarantees. Okay. Right. Start a couple of those. Okay. I'm just going to nip those up. I haven't got a torque wrench up here, so just do it by feel. Alright, I'm just going to do up this fitting here and we'll come back shortly. And it's getting the first test. So far so good, it's gone over 60. All working perfect, builds up, shuts off, does everything it should. So it's all back in place now, hopefully ready for another 15 years.